बार खत्म किया है तीशा? So we will start with summer 21 paper 1-2 और फिर इसके बाद February March. Okay. Now, which statement about the Avogadro's constant is correct? Okay. First statement क्या कह रहे हैं? It is the mass of one mole of any element. Is this a correct statement? Is the Avogadro's constant the value 6.02 exponent 23 is the mass? Very good, Tisha. No, it's not the mass, it is the number of particles. So it means our A statement is wrong. Is this clear? Now the second statement, what it says, it is the mass of 6.02 exponent 23 atoms of any element. Is this correct? See, I just told you it's not the value Avogadro's constant is not the mass. It is the amount of number of particles. So again, it is incorrect because in the B statement, they are saying that it is the mass of 6.02 exponent 23 atoms. So no, it's not the mass. It is the number of particles. If the count of the particles is equal to 6.02 exponent 23, then it is considered as a 1 mole of that substance. Is it clear to everyone? Now, if we look at C statement, it is the number of atoms in 1 mole of neon. Is it clear? Is it a correct one? Yes. But if you look at the D statement, it is the number of atoms in 12 gram of any element. No, it is not correct. It is the number of atoms. If the number of atoms are 6.02 exponent 23, and what we call it 1 mole. So D statement is also wrong, and the C statement is the correct one. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, Shazre. What did you miss or where you get confused? Please tell me. In B, what they are saying that again they are saying it is the mass, right? And I just told you it is not the mass. For example, if I talk about 1 dozen, so if I say 1 dozen pens, and if I say 1 dozen bags, so 1 dozen refers to a 12th number of that thing, but not the mass. If I say 1 dozen pens and if I say 1 dozen bags, they not their mass is not equal, but their number, the count is always equal. Yes, so it's not the mass. That's why B is incorrect, and D is incorrect as well because they says in 12 grams, so that is wrong. They specified the mass, so we can't specify the mass. For example, if I talk about oxygen, oxygen have a mass of 16, right? And if I talk about hydrogen, hydrogen is a mass of 1. So if I take 6.02 exponent 23 atoms of oxygen, and if I take 6.02 exponent 23 atoms of hydrogen, both have a different masses, but the number of atoms both have must be same, that is 6.02 exponent 23. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Which equation represents the first ionization energy of iodine? So let me recall you, whenever we talk about the first ionization energy, it means we must have an atom on the reactant side in a gaseous state, and then we have a ion with a +1 charge in the gaseous state, and then the electron. So if you have any equation in this format, then that is the correct representation of the first ionization energy. of iodine. Yes, Tisha, good. So now if you look, we are observing at point A and C, it's wrong, right? Why? Because we have a half moles. And B is also wrong because we are getting I negative. And here we are also getting I negative. So uh, if you look at the D option, that is basically actually uh, have the same format as I have told you. So D is the correct option. Is this clear to everyone? Yes, is it clear? Now question number 3. The structure represents 3 compounds, each with 4 carbon atoms per molecule. Now, which row is correct? They have asking you from the lowest to highest boiling point. So which compound X, Y, and Z which have a lowest boiling point? So see, there is a one trick. If you look, we have OH, which means there is a oxygen bonded with the hydrogen. It means between the molecules of X, we have a hydrogen bonding. ठीक है ना, जिन molecules में O hydrogen and the molecules in which the hydrogen is bonded either with fluorine or with nitrogen or with oxygen, then those have a hydrogen bonding, and the one those which have a hydrogen bonding have a highest boiling point. So see, from this we can conclude that either A or B is wrong, oh sorry, correct, and C and D is wrong. बेटा between the molecules होती हैं, अगर between the molecules तब hydrogen bonding होती है. It is only possible when when any hydrogen of a molecule is bonded either to oxygen or to fluorine or to nitrogen, then the fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen of other molecule attract that hydrogen, then a hydrogen bond exists. Is it clear, Tisha? Beta different molecules में होगी, it always between the molecules. Okay, so now we are left with A and B. If we look over here, there is a charges over here, and here there is no charges. So if we relate Y and Z, in Y there is a no charges. So we can say that Y have a lowest boiling point, Z have a moderate boiling point, and X have a highest boiling point due to a hydrogen bond. So on the basis of that, uh, we can say A is also wrong, and which means B is the correct answer. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. Question number 4. The structural formula of alene is shown. What are the approximate bond angles X, Y, and Z in a molecule of alene? चलें, ये मैं आप लोगों को सजेस्ट करता हूँ, आप लोग करके दें प्लीज मुझे सॉल्व. क्या आंसर होना चाहिए? यस शाजरे, हैव अ लुक ओवर हियर. Okay. Yes. Who can tell me the correct answer? Okay, Tisha, your first option is correct. Okay, Hamna. Correct. Very good. Okay, Tisha. So if we look at X, X is around the carbon. So if you try to figure out X, what you will find, there are three bond pairs and no lone pair, which means bond angle is 120 degree. And if we predicted that X is, yes, Tisha, very good, X is 120, then we can easily mark A and D wrong. Is it clear? Now we are left with B and C. Now, if you look at angle Y is around the carbon, which have a three bond pairs and no lone pair. So again, if there is a no lone pair, then the bond angle is 120 degrees again. So which means we can also mark B are wrong and the correct answer will be C. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, Halima, good. जी यहाँ तक क्लियर है सबको? Okay, great. Now, question number 5. Flask Q contains 5 dm cube of helium at 12 kilopascal pressure. And then flask R contains 10 dm cube. Let me mark with the different color. R contains 10 dm cube of neon at 6 kilopascal pressure. Okay. If the flasks are connected at constant temperature, what is the final pressure? Okay. This is the trickier one. See how you will solve it. So here you have a flask Q having a helium in it. Its volume is 5 dm cube and the pressure is 12 kilopascal. And here we have a flask R which contains neon. Its volume is 10 dm cube and the pressure is 6 kilopascal. This is the initial information that we got. Then what they are saying, what they did, they connected both the flasks. So if they connected both the flasks, then the volume now will be 5 plus 10, which means 15 dm cube. Is it understandable to everyone? जी ये यहाँ तक clear है सबको? Okay. Now, for this comparison, whenever a comparison of this type, they have given you a volume and pressure, and at constant temperature, they are asking either the pressure or a volume. You can use the formula P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. Okay. Now, if we talk about helium, our initial pressure will be 12, right? And initial volume will be 5. When both the flasks are connected, then the P2 is unknown that I have to figure it out, but V2 becomes 15. Is this understandable? जी ये पॉइंट क्लियर है सबको? Okay, great. Now, what will be the value of P2, the pressure of helium when both the flasks are connected? It is, I think, 4. If you solve it, yes. It's 4 kilopascal. So we got the pressure of helium. Yes, Tisha. So here the pressure of helium is 4 kilopascal. Now, in the same way, we will work for the pressure of neon as well. The initial pressure of neon is 6 and volume is 10. Now, the final pressure is unknown, but the volume becomes 15. So now if you solve it, what you will do, get the answer? Four. Yes. So 4 kilopascal. So we got the volume of neon is also a 4 kilopascal. Is this understandable to everyone? So the total volume will be volume of neon and volume of helium and their sum. So it becomes 8. So the correct answer will be A, 8 kilopascal. I hope everybody understand. Okay. Now question number 6. Sodium chloride, water, and air represent 3 states of matter. Just give me a minute. That are solid, liquid, and gas. Okay. Which row is correct? So if we look, we can easily conclude that B and C are wrong because they says that sodium chloride have a stationary particles. No, they are vibrating. In the solid, there are the vibrations in the particles, right? So B and C are wrong. So we left with A and D. Now we have to conclude which one is the correct. Particles held in the rigid structure, yes, this statement is correct. Resist to change of shape, yes, they are just vibrating, but they are resisting in the change of state, change of their shape. Okay. Now, if you look at the second statement for water, can easily be compressed. Wrong. It's not a gas, it's a liquid, and liquids are not easily compressed. Cannot easily be compressed. So it's correct. So we have concluded from the second row that A is wrong and we left with the D. So D is the correct answer. Is it clear to everyone? Question number 7. The reaction pathway diagram for the catalyzed reaction and the uncatalyzed reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen is shown. Okay. Here we have an equation. Which letter represents the activation energy for the first step in the decomposition of ammonia? Decomposition of ammonia means they are talking about the reverse reaction in the presence of a catalyst. So it means that is your starting point when we are talking about the decomposition of ammonia, and this is your end point. So they ask you in the presence of a catalyst. So in the presence of a catalyst, we will follow this path, right? So in this path, the activation energy for the first step must be this one, that is D. So your correct answer is D. It is the first step. And this is the second step when we are talking about the decomposition. Is it clear to everyone? Now, nitrogen and oxygen can react together to form nitrogen monoxide NO. Here they have given you the enthalpy change that is positive, which means it's an endothermic reaction. What is the bond energy for the bond between NO? Okay. So if you look at the reaction, it is N triple bond N plus O double bond O, and we are getting 2 moles of NO, right? So if you recall the expression for solving it, yes, Hamna, C. C is for uncatalyzed, right? Not catalyzed. C is the higher one. So we can't consider it as a catalyzed, the activation energy for a catalyzed reaction. It is for the uncatalyzed reaction. Yes, did you understand, Hamna? Okay. So the expression that I used and I told you is bond breaking minus bond forming. So we know the enthalpy change, that is positive 180. Okay. Then bond breaking will be, have a look at the data booklet. It's a N triple bond N, which is 944. Plus there is a bond breaking of a oxygen double bond, that is 496. And minus 2x. So if we'll work for the value of x, it will be 944 plus 496 minus 180 divided by 2. So can you solve it and tell me the answer? Okay, Hamna. Did you divide it by 2 as well? No, I think you don't divide it by 2 because 900 and 400 and then minus 180. So 944. Yes, it would be 630 plus 496 and then minus 180 and then divide by 2. So it will give you 630. So A will be your correct answer. Is this clear to everyone? Now I am just going to end at question number 10. And tomorrow, I'm not sure that we will either have a class or not. But if tomorrow I'm not able to take the class, I will take the class on Saturday. Or might be if I take the class tomorrow, it will be late, like 11:30. But I'm not sure yet. So I will inform you on the WhatsApp. Now, just these two questions. The equation for a redox reaction is shown. Okay. So if you work out, what you will find, it is 2 plus, and here it is 4 plus. Here it is 2 plus, and here it is 1 plus times 2 because there are 2 moles, 2 mercury. Which species is being oxidized in this reaction? So it is easily identifiable. Tin is converting from plus 2 to plus 4, which means its oxidation number is increasing and losing 2 electrons. So it is tin 2 positive. So the correct answer is tin 2 positive. Is it clear to everyone? Yes, is it clear to everyone? Question number 10. 3.6 moles of hydrogen gas and 2.0 moles of iodine vapors, okay, are placed in a reaction vessel which is then sealed and maintained at constant temperature. The equation for the reaction is shown. At equilibrium, 3.2 moles of hydrogen remains. All reactants and products are gaseous. What is the value of Kp? Okay. So, if you recall, I have always told you to draw the ice table in such a case, right? So we have a H2 plus I2 forming 2 moles of hydrogen iodide. So if I put the values, the initial moles of hydrogen is 3.60, iodine is 2.00, and it's nil. Then they have given me the equilibrium moles. It's it's E. So the equilibrium moles of hydrogen is 3.2. So if I'll figure out what I will find, the change is minus 0.40. So if it is changing by minus 0.40, so it must be changed by minus 0.40. So it means there must be 1.60 moles at equilibrium, right? 2 minus 0.40 gives us 1.60. Now, if we look at the mole ratio is 1 is to 2. It means there must be a positive 2 times 0.40 change in the concentration of moles of hydrogen iodide, which makes it 0.80. ये clear है बेटा सबको? Okay, so now find Kp, which is 0.80 over 0.80 square, because see, we have our 2 moles. Okay, let me write the Kp expression. Partial pressure of hydrogen iodide raised to the power 2 divided by partial pressure of hydrogen times partial pressure of iodine. For mole fraction, no, we don't do the, yes, we have to find the mole fraction as well. Okay, so the what are the total moles? 3.2 plus 0.84, 5.60, right? मगर मोल फ्रैक्शन ना भी निकालें तो हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ऊपर भी 5.60 का स्क्वायर आएगा और नीचे भी 5.60 का स्क्वायर होगा आएगा, तो आप डायरेक्टली कर लें. आई थिंक आंसर करेक्ट आएगा. अगर किसी के पास एमएस है तो जरा मुझे कंफर्म कर दीजिएगा. हाइड्रोजन आयोडाइड के क्या गिवन है? 0.80. देखिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ. अगर मैं डायरेक्ट मोल फ्रैक्शंस की एक्सप्रेशन लिखूं तो 0.80 अपॉन 5.60 का स्क्वायर होगा, और नीचे भी क्या होगा? 3.20 अपॉन 5.60 और 1.60 अपॉन 5.60. तो 5.60 तो कैंसिल हो जाएगा. ठीक है, आप जरा कैलकुलेट करके बताएं क्या आंसर आ रहा है. ओके हलीमा, चेक कर लेते हैं, अभी पता चल जाएगा. तो मैं जो कह रहा हूँ कि आप 0.80 डिवाइडेड बाय 3.20 टाइम्स 1.60 करेंगे. तो सॉल्व करके बताइए क्या आंसर आ रहा है। जी 0.125 आ रहा है, वो जो कि आपका बी ऑप्शन है। तो इट्स अ करेक्ट वन। ठीक है ना, क्यों, देखे ना, स्क्वायर हुआ, यहाँ पे भी टाइम्स हो रहा है, तो ये और ये सारे कैंसिल हो जाएंगे, तो आपके पास सिर्फ वही फिगर्स बचेंगी। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? तो आज की क्लास हम यहीं पे एंड कर रहे हैं। और वैसे मेरा टारगेट है कि हम जो है वीकेंड्स के अलावा रेगुलर क्लास रखें, बट कल हो सकता है मैं क्लास ना ले सकूं, तो